It's Thursday morning. You know what that means. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's AEW Dynamite review time. We got lots to talk about for AEW. We got a stacked card that just keeps getting more and more for Double or Nothing. Lots of news with them, big news, in fact. And then freaking WWE is back at it again. This is TSL.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And welcome back to Total Spotfest Live. I am JJ Brownlee. With me on this very special, most joyous of days is our illustrious co-host, Mr. Jamie Faulkner.
What's up, peeps?
And we don't have the young boy with us today because today is Mr. Jamie Faulkner's birthday. So round of applause. Happy birthday. He asked for a birthday wish. He said, I'd really like the young boy just to stay at home. So wish granted. So.
Yes. Nicholas got to stay home today for my birthday. It's the best gift ever.
It's the best gift ever. Enjoy the day off, Nick. But we'll see you next week. Fear not, because when you are in Orlando coming up here, I have 3 shows with Nick. So
I know.
Yeah. So he'll have his due. He'll have plenty to say. But thank you all for joining us on this very special AEW review. We do appreciate it. If you're watching us on YouTube, give Jamie a shout. Say happy birthday down below in the comments. You also can tweet at us at JFaulkner56 for the birthday boy. I am at JMoney1536. We are at Total Spotfest. As always, give us a like down below. It helps out a lot. And tell your friends to join in the party. So we are going to get into talking about AEW Dynamite from last night. Tons of stuff going on. Build up for Double or Nothing is real. There's a lot that they like.
Yeah.
I thought that I was like, I wonder how they're going to fill out the rest of this card. And it's like, oh, they filled it pretty good last night. So
Yes. They did a mic drop, you know.
Yeah. It was not just Platinum Max either. Although we'll talk about that.
Ooh,
but
yes.
Before we get to AEW, I do want to spend a little bit of time because we've been saying for the past couple episodes, not a lot of news going on right now. There's not a lot outside going on right now. Well, shit done changed today. So
Hardcore.
Tons of news. First thing I want to do, just a little passing note here, because I have complained about the IWGP World Heavyweight title belt since its inception. Jamie has been reluctantly defending it a little. He's come around to it a little more than I have.
Yes.
It's not the worst belt out there. I know it's not. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Kota Ibushi was quoted today as saying he believes that over time the new design will win people over.
Really?
So, okay. That's what Ibushi said. So, I mean, okay. There's nothing else going on in New Japan. And I saw that and I was like, well, that's at least for your birthday. There's at least a smidgen of New Japan news. So,
yes, that's nice.
It is what it is. So, by the way, I do want to talk a little bit about WWE for a hot second before I get into the big AEW news that happened today. So,
yes.
First of all, significant lack of interest in Backlash this past Sunday. I'm not calling it what they called it because it's stupid.
WWE WrestleMania Backlash.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. So they did for the Google Trends, Google Trends, which is the number of searches while it was going on. This is a big thing that we're talking about with Revolution, AEW's last pay-per-view, because they did the most they ever did, which was 210,000 Google Trends. They didn't even crack the top 20, what WWE did. It was around about 100,000 Google searches.
Ouch.
Yeah, their B-level pay-per-views do at least 250,000. So, I mean, it just kind of solidifies what we've been saying all along. And something that's not solidifying anything we said before is whatever the hell is going on in Ricochet's brain lately. So, we have been clamoring for Ricochet on our TV. If you listen to any of our previous podcasts, he finally has been put back in front of the camera in a wrestling match. and he immediately goes out and does stupid shit on Twitter. So he first started off saying about how he's the best in the world, nobody can do what he can do, blah, blah, blah. And then a bunch of fans started commenting back at him, what about this person? What about that person? What about this person? What about that person? For the most part, it just was a bunch of fans yelling. And then somebody said, what about Io Shirai? She's AEW or WWE's best high flyer. And Ricochet's response to Io Shirai, perhaps the best women wrestler in the world, okay? Or if not the best, top 5 minimum.
Yeah.
His exact quote was, I'm not saying she's not amazing. She 100% is, but I can do everything she can, probably even better. She can't do what I'm capable of, maybe not even half. It's like, dude. So,
Dude.
you know, for a guy who's been at catering for the past 3 months and peeked his head out briefly, that's not the best thing to be saying on Twitter. So, because what could happen to him could be what happened to a bunch of NXT people today. It always happens. Happened last year. You had the hammer fall or the axe fall on the main roster, and then it swings back and hits NXT. So, a good number of NXT releases today. Some of them you're gonna be like, "Who? I have no idea who they are," you know. And that's some developmental talent. There was Kavita Devi, Skylar Story, who's Brandy Lauren. This sounds somewhat familiar, but I don't remember.
Yeah, she's actually dating Joey Janela, and like I don't see what she sees in him. Like, I mean, she is gorgeous, and then you have Joey Janela. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. That's the name sounds familiar. I might have seen a match with her.
Yeah, she
Who
had
knows?
one match, I think, but she was mainly in Evolve under Brandy Story, I think was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, she's Brandy looking for a job now. Ezra Judge, who's EJ Njaku.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right?
You did.
I think I did.
Yes, you
wow.
did. Crushed it first try.
Look at this guy. The referee, Jake Clemens.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm saving one here I'm going to follow up on.
Okay.
And then, and you know what I think I'm just going to talk about. And then 2 women who you sound familiar to you. Vanessa Bourne.
Yep.
It's not a big surprise. She hasn't been on TV in a year and a half or something stupid.
Yeah.
And this one surprised me a little. Not a lot, but a little. It's Jessamine Duke.
Yeah, that one kind of got me. I mean, she doesn't have their look, and her matches are okay, you know. And I think, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you know, the whole thing is like Marina Shafir was not on here, so they're doing it. They're definitely going to do an angle because she's still employed. So is Roderick Strong. Those of you who are asking, he's still employed by WWE, NXT. He's not gone. It's an angle, I swear. But they're doing some sort of married couple angle with them, and more than whatever. I don't know. Marina Shafir was in the women's tag team challenge. Jessamine Duke had been hurt. She jacked up her shoulder real bad, or I think it was like the Ruby Riott thing. Hey, Ruby, where she had like a long-standing shoulder thing. She finally had it fixed type of deal. So she'd be on the show for a long time for that. She popped back in briefly for Raw Underground and then had a minor injury and then just been sitting at home for the past few months. So it's a shame. I like Jessamine. It really sucks, too. That's really going to throw a wrench in Up, Down's programming plans because she's the head of the BRE, which is a faction on Up, Down. And while they let Xavier Woods have his channel, and they're all non-kayfabe there, so it's a different world. They are very firm with him that they let him do it by only allowing him to have WWE talent. Can't bring in, because you know he used to bring in back in the day. He used to bring in independent talent. Kylie Ray was on there once. Independent talent would be featured on there. He had that thing against Kenny Omega.
Yeah, they did against the Elite. Yeah, it was a big deal, and it was awesome
and
actually.
So WWE is giving him the leeway to have that free and clear. As long as so that sucks for if you're an Up Down fan like I am, it's gonna suck for that. But Jessamine, best of luck to her. She's I think she's been moving away anyway. She's doing a lot more streaming video game stuff. I think she's moving more into that world. Things change. Now the last name on this might not be a household name. It's Drake Wirtz. If you've ever watched NXT, you've seen him. I think he was on. He might have been on the main roster too. He's a referee. He's a referee, by the way. He might have been on the main roster refereeing some, but he's definitely a referee in NXT. Now, he was the first name that was found out. They don't announce a lot of NXT releases. NXT is their developmental brand, so it just kind of happens, right?
Yeah.
Well, they announced this because the word is that backstage, Ezra Judge, who was also released today, almost felt, quote unquote, the need to get physical with Drake. With Fightful Selective's report, it was quoted as saying that people told them that minorities within NXT took exception to the way things were worded by Wirtz. So, to be fair, Jamie, you always say WWE don't mind having some racists. Well, maybe they have a quota, and this guy was one too many because I've heard more passing stories, glances about how big of a douche this dude was. So, good riddance.
He looks like a douche.
He definitely does. A couple more things real fast here. So, some identities were released from the terrible zombie angle from Backlash.
Yes.
Some developmental talent, somebody who does special effects was actually one of the zombies. It's the thing that Walking Dead does. They take people who work for the show behind the scenes, put them in as zombies, and Scotty 2 Hotty.
I doubt they put any makeup on him. He probably does look dead.
Oh, I'm looking at a picture of him here. They definitely put makeup on him. It is a thing of wonder and intrigue. So, all right, I was gonna share that with you, but I hit the wrong button. Screw it. Go look it up, y'all. Okay,
You forgot one name.
Who was that?
Alexander Wolf of Sanity.
Oh, I did. I totally missed that. Sorry, Alexander Wolf got released today too, guys.
So the last Sanity member is Killian Dane and Nikki Cross.
Yep. Nikki Cross made a brief appearance in the Lumberjack match on Raw, which was weird. But, yeah, Alexander Wolf had a match just last night, or 2 nights ago, on Impact. So, interesting. But, whatever. They kind of been teasing it for a while because he's been on the outs with Walter. Who cares? Best of luck to Alexander Wolf and everybody else in your future endeavors, except for Wirtz. Go fuck yourself.
Well said.
One last bit of WWE's before I move on to the good stuff. Okay, was that Eric Bischoff was on the 83 Weeks podcast, which is his podcast, and I don't know who he was talking to, but they were talking about the whole AEW stuff, and he says that he doesn't believe Vince even cares about AEW. That he was on there, and then a month later he was inducted to the Hall of Fame. And he said if he really cared about the whole feud, he wouldn't have done that, which I think is a bit of a shoot. I really do.
I do too.
Or a bit of a, I don't know if it's a work, but yeah, it's a bit of a shoot. Come on.
If he didn't care, NXT would still be on Wednesdays.
Let's be real. It really would. So, and that's a great little segue here because I do want to talk about AEW. And so the big news that came out, I got a couple little bits we'll do before we get into Dynamite, but the big news that happened today is TV changes for AEW. Oh my God, what do they mean? Settle down. It's actually good stuff. So, first of all, there's going to be a second show. Thank you, Jesus. A third hour on Fridays on TNT. So it's going to be at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on TNT. I can't remember the name of what it
Rampage.
is. Rampage, which is...
Yeah, I think that's fine.
It's whatever. I neither love it nor hate it. It is what it is.
As long as it's not Thunder, I'm good.
It'd be funny if they went with Thunder. So, Dynamite, Rampage, whatever. So, Rampage is going to be a second network show, 1 hour on Friday nights. That's on TNT. And Dynamite is moving to TBS. Now, there's reasons behind that. So, excuse me. So, apparently, it has a lot to do with NBA and NHL. So Warner Media has secured the rights to the NHL, and because of that, and that's Warner Media. That includes USA and everything. So because of that, they're going to go right up against TNT programming a lot more than they would TBS programming. TBS gives them a more free and clear pathway to being consistently on at the same time every week. They also won't have to dodge around NBA. And I heard the potential about some college athletics, which I didn't think Turner had any college athletic rights. But
They only do during the NCAA tournament.
okay, so this is okay. So that's a good point. Yeah, so the NCAA tournament comes into play there, which we already passed this year. But okay, I totally forgot about that. I was thinking college football, and I'm like, they don't have college. Okay, whatever. It's just good. So it's going to move to TBS, which I find interesting because your secondary championship is the TNT championship. So are they going to officially call it the TV title now? Leave it TNT, call it the TBS title. That's stupid. I don't know.
It should become the TV title. That's an old school name that has high regard with all those old school folk. I'm for it.
I mean, and if you really want to do it, you can get a new belt that has TNT and TBS. You can put the Turner, you can put Ted Turner's goddamn face in the middle of it. I don't care. So Tony Khan, now this is what's being reported by Busted Open Radio. Okay, so they were talking to Tony, and he's talking about great news for everybody, big news, blah blah blah. During the negotiations with Turner Broadcasting, which is Warner Media, they at one point asked if he wanted to do a 3-hour Dynamite, and they kept going back to it, and he kept saying no. Thank you, Tony Khan. This is why I have so much faith in Tony Khan. This is why Tony Khan won the Booker and of the year and Promoter of the Year. Because yes, that's the easy thing, right? Take a bunch of money and then just do a 3-hour show. But then it turns into freaking Raw, and it's just too much. 2 hours is really the sweet spot for attention span.
I agree.
So with that, they're probably going to make a boatload of money. So good.
Bigger talent.
That makes me happy. Bigger talent. Could that include a Blanchard? Now, we've talked before. Me and Jamie are hellbent. We totally believe Tessa Blanchard's going to WWE. This whole, if you don't watch NXT, they have this whole tease they're doing for the diamond something or another. It's the group of diamond people. I don't know. Tessa Blanchard always has a diamond on her butt, on her trousers or gear. So we're convinced that's her. But I keep seeing things being reported, rumors, leaks, all this stuff. The most recent one is Dustin Rose tweeted out a photo. Her and her husband, Daga, were special guests at his training facility. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody says, oh, no, she's not in talks with him. It's not happening. And I'm just like, is it, though? I mean, I don't think it is. But
yeah,
I don't know. There's just coincidence. She was recently at a thing in Baltimore a couple days ago, an event. When she was there with Brian Cage and Diamante and 3 other AEW talents.
And a couple NWA and some old school. Let's be fair.
I know. All the pictures though of them going to dinner and stuff was her. Now, okay,
she knew most of them from Impact.
Impact Wrestling. So, I mean, yes. My money's still on WWE. I agree with you, Jamie. She's part of this Diamond Troop or whatever. Mm-hmm. All right, last bit before we get into the show. There has been an announcement regarding Andrade. Not that sort of announcement, but the announcement that makes me very happy. He is officially get to wrestle Kenny Omega for the AAA Mega Championship at AAA's Triple Mania 29. It's in August. Okay, so that's when Triple Mania is. It's in August every year.
It's in Mexico City too, isn't it?
It is. It is in Mexico City. Well, it's in Mexico. I'm sure it's in Mexico City. I don't think they move
Let's
it
get
around.
passports. Let's go. No, I was kidding.
I'll go. I don't give a shit. I'll go to Mexico. Hell yeah. No, that'll be awesome. So that it'll be good. So that's one of Kenny Omega's titles officially on the line. So, all right. That's the news that we got for what's been going on. Like I said, a busy news day out of nowhere. Just bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, let's turn it over. Jamie, why don't you tell us about AEW Dynamite from last night?
So AEW Dynamite last night was pretty solid. It was more about building than anything. It was setting everything up for 2 weeks. It was definitely a Double or Nothing precursor. And then they have the go home for
Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing is going to be on Friday right before Double or Nothing now. So that was announced during the show as well. So it started off with a match. It was the instant classic Christian Cage versus newborn Matt Sydel. It was okay.
I like this match, I think, a lot more than you did. This was actually a pretty damn good wrestling match.
So it was I timed it. It was a 15-minute match. I felt it was 13 minutes too long.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Christian Cage wins with an unprettier. I'm not calling it what they're calling it. That's just
it's an unprettier. It is definitely an unprettier.
So the whole thing with it that was pissing me off during the whole match, I think this is why I got more of a bad taste in my mouth, was freaking Taz. Like, I have a love-hate relationship with Taz. I do.
Oh, yeah. He
love him when he's not doing this shtick and he's just a normal announcer. And I hate this shtick with a passion. Like, he is just trying to get the cheap heat, and he just sounds annoying. Like, legit.
He was like that in TNA when he was part of Bully Ray's stupid Aces and Eights thing. Because he was an announcer for TNA. And it's just God, he's so annoying. His accent gets twice as thick, and I'm sorry. The Team Taz stuff, I'm like you. I'm just over that whole thing. You know?
Yeah, because remember when they teased Brian Cage was gonna be a face? Well, that's gone. It's just
squarely.
It's like, damn. Like, I thought we had a good shot at it, and it's like, no, we're gonna change directions.
No,
I felt very WWE with that. But anyway, so right after the match got good after the match.
For the record, the match was actually a pretty good match to start off. But anyway,
it was a very technically sound match. I'm just
you hate Christian Cage, and that skews your judgment. It's like if I see a match with CM Punk, I'm not going to think it's a good match.
But I will.
Sorry,
but I'm going to at least be
to each his own.
Yeah, I'll at least say it was a good match. It's just not. I just don't like
it. Was you know, like, it was not a banger, but Sydel looked really good though.
Sydel did look good. He did
he's gonna leave some bounds since his botch entrance. So.
Since he slipped up. All right, so right after that, Taz gets up and starts talking to Christian, and then Hook comes behind. Ricky Starks comes out and says, "You need to be paying attention to me." Blah blah blah, and then Hook comes out and then hits. Christian in the back of the leg, and then the rest of Team Taz starts to come out. And then at that point, the best part of the whole thing
was great.
Was Adam Hangman Page with a drink in his hand, walks up, hands his drink to Ricky Starks, and just gets into the ring and just starts banging on everybody.
It's the Hangman back in like when the Elite was together, like the last year's Stadium Stampede, times when he was like that, just the drunk Hangman. I like that. I like this entrance, like this variant of Hangman best.
Yeah, so he comes out and he tries to go for him and Brian Cage go back and forth. He tries a buckshot lariat. And it actually gets reversed almost into the F10. I think that's what he calls it.
It's the F10.
Yeah, the big F5.
It's an F5 with a spin. That's why it's an F10.
That's right. Thank you. But then he gets out of it, and then Hook comes and hits him in the leg, and then Brian Cage does his big power bomb on him, and then at that point, the Dark Order comes out. Sting.
Nope.
Sorry, Sting and. Wait,
nope.
No. What am I doing?
No. Nobody comes out.
No one comes out. That's it. Sorry,
you're getting things mixed up. They come in the ring. Ricky starts. You're getting your stuff mixed up. This is what happens when you watch it on your phone in your car. Okay.
I'm sorry. I did that.
But Dad thinks tonight, so he was on the small screen watching it while I had the big screen in front of my bike. No, they go in the ring and Ricky Starks drinks.
That's right. He drinks his whiskey.
Kayfabe drinks it was a beer, but yeah.
Yeah, his beer, apple juice. It looked like apple juice, but
it didn't look like beer.
So, all right. So that's what happens there. After that, we get the typical AEW thing, go right to a promo, and actually, I was impressed by this promo.
Good. I was wanting to hear what you were saying because you've been dogging on this team for a little bit, and I not as much as you. But why did you like this promo?
So this is the first time they've really let Brian Pillman Jr. talk, and it was very surprising. I had
Coincidentally, right now with what's been going on TV, interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Topical.
So anyway, the thing is, he's cutting this promo because the Bucks called, said something about his dad. Whatever, it's fine there, but his promo actually was pretty decent. Like,
It was.
I had a
not
very
bad.
low bar. I had a very, very low bar, and he definitely exceeded the bar. Then when his partner Griff Garrison talked, it's like, okay, now we're back to where I thought.
Yeah. I mean, they both are still Pillman a little bit more, but they're both still green.
Yes,
They're both very green. But Garrison's got a great upside. Pillman is he's got Pillman blood, but
he's
they're
good. Like, when we get to the championship,
We'll talk about the
get to
match.
I enjoyed.
Don't forget about the part that I like the most. Because
Julia?
They have a cheerleader now, and it's like, yes, you're just buying in on the shtick. I like that because you don't see them do this. You don't see them put like an old school, like a female manager with a male team, right?
Yeah.
Like in the early '90s, in the late '80s, that everything. Miss Elizabeth, Scary Sherry, who I hate, but you always had a female manager with like male talent. It's like it's good, and it gives her something to do. It gives them a more complete look for their shtick.
Yeah, so Julia,
I dug it.
So Julia is a part of their Varsity Blondes now, and she was a champion cheerleader, and she's been on Dark Elevation and Dark a few times and has gotten the shit kicked out of her. But hey, whatever. That's
Developmental talent.
Yeah,
but
she's paying her dues.
Them,
paying her dues.
pay her dues, and this is a good way to do it as a manager. So I'm cool with it.
Yeah. So Pillman says, it's a shame that the Bucks reverted back to their Bullet Club days and all that good stuff, and says that they won't stop until they achieve their destiny of becoming tag champions. Okay.
You're a few years ahead of yourself, but okay.
Yeah. So then right after this was a commercial. Then we had Moxley and Kingston cut a promo earlier in the day, which was pretty damn
good.
funny. I really enjoyed it because
I love this version of Kingston. I do.
both of them are hilarious.
Oh,
Like
they're
Moxley
great.
was great.
Like Kingston doesn't understand what a super is like. What's a super kick party? Do I have to super kick to get into it? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And Moxie's trying to explain it to him, and it's
It
gold.
was so
It's
good.
Mike Gold.
Yeah. So then Moxley says we'll beat the brakes off of him, and then that's what King's like. Ooh, I like that. But that honestly was not the best of the Kingston moments. So,
Oh no!
So then the match happens between Moxley and the Acclaimed. Moxley and Kingston come out
Kingston.
to Wild Thing again. So it seems like Wild Thing is his song, but now if you notice the version of Wild Thing
It was
different.
yes.
It was the
It
version
was.
from Major League.
He's got to come out as Ricky Vaughn. He has to at some point, or just the glasses. Give me. I'll take the glasses with this skull and crossbones.
I mean,
come on.
He was a Cincinnati kid, so I'm like, okay. If he was a Cleveland guy, it's like I get you. But
Right.
yeah, so he's a Cincinnati kid, and he legit comes out, and I loved it. I thought it was great that they came out to the Major League version because
I like it. There's people out there that are dogging it. They think it's the stupidest thing ever. I dig it. I like when you use recognizable songs.
Yes, and then the Acclaim come out.
Ooh,
Matt,
ooh, Platinum Max. Come on now.
he spits fire. That's all there is to it. Fire.
So good.
He compared Kingston to a pack of Newports, and then to which Kingston goes, yeah. Then he straight up calls out
The best.
Moxley's wife and says she's been trying to call him up for some of those oral sessions because that's her podcast. And then his partner Bowens is like, hey, what's everybody worried about? We're talking about her podcast. And then
he's trying to do, first of all, they had extra people in the front. I don't know if they just had extras or whatever, or what. I don't know what the rest of the attendance was for tonight. Because I don't think they're going full attendance until Double or Nothing.
That's the first one.
But so they may have had more people in the stands. I don't know, but it felt the energy. At least for the first half of the show, the energy was amped up. Mm-hmm. So when he said that, Bones tries to do his typical AEW, and there's just so many oh shits going on. He's like, no.
And then when he's gonna say AEW and then Kingston just pops him in the mouth. It was really great. So this match, it was a good match. It was a long match. I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting to, just because I love the Acclaimed. I think they're got a humongously bright future, but Kingston and Moxley are great individual guys. So seeing them together and working well as a unit,
it's a very WWE-esque move,
It is, but those two know each other so well, and it worked really well.
It did.
So Moxley and Kingston end up getting the win with the assisted wheelbarrow paradigm shift DDT for the win. Yes, that's a long ass name.
That's it's an official finisher though, but it's a long name.
Yes, the assisted wheelbarrow paradigm shift DDT. Say it all together, folks.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so then right after this, I hope you thought of me right when this happened, because I've been saying this shit basically since episode 1. So here's Chris Jericho. He's talking with Dean Malenko backstage.
I totally thought of you with this. I actually had to go back because I was on my bike. I didn't catch all of it, but I saw them. And I'm like, wait, let me rewind and take a stop pedaling for a sec. Okay.
Yeah. So Marvez comes up and tries to get an answer out of Chris Jericho about the Inner Circle. And he's like, you're going to have to wait. And he goes, you need to give him respect. He's a man of 1,000 holds. I'm like, oh my God.
But then
Malenko goes, he's still going to have 4 more than me. and then Jericho to his reply is like, I've forgotten a few. But it's like, oh my God. I love the 1,004 holds shtick between those two. 1,000 holds, 1,004 holds.
It's one of your favorite promos of all time.
Oh man, that's when I was at my peak of Jericho.
That was your birthday gift from AEW. You know this, right?
Oh, 100%.
It was.
Like I've been banging up Jericho on Twitter so many times. Go back to the 1,004 thing. Just get under somebody's skin.
Right.
Oh man.
Well, there you go. That was a very good nod.
Yes. Tony Schiavone, of course, goes out there and he does an interview with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky's promo sucked. I'm just gonna call it out. I did not like it. I'm like, where are you going with this? But then Ethan Page did his.
Ethan Page is good.
And it's like Scorpio Sky bad, Ethan Page good, because his was great.
Oh, he's so good on the
mic. So I'm not gonna get into all the things that they said, but basically they were both calling out Sting and Darby Allin. Scorpio Sky called out Sting. Ethan Page called out Darby Allin. And lots of good stuff was going on there.
Yes, he has some real good zingers. We're not going to go over all of them. Look it up. Ethan Page dug in pretty good on Darby. It was pretty. It was a Platinum Max one to be on the oral sessions with Moxley's wife. But it was close. It was pretty good.
Yeah. So he ended that he wanted to be he promises to be the nail in Allen's coffin. So I loved how that ended. Then the lights went out. Sting and Allin hit the ring, and then they start fighting each other. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page were able to get out, and they're trying to escape, and that's when the Dark Order comes out, and they block both entrances, and they have to escape through the crowd. So that was
let me take it on a sidebar for a second here.
Okay.
So I don't know if you feel like I feel. I don't like the Dark Order in the middle of this, whatever the hell this is. but I have thoughts on it. Now, a couple weeks ago, I posturized about Hangman, and talking about how they're doing the eventual long haul for that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that maybe they're having a leadership council crisis of sorts, where because they on Being the Elite, they have this whole trying to get Sting, trying to hang out with Sting. Do you think it's that, or do you think there's something else at play here? Because they have no real reason to be in this feud at all.
Well, yeah, because they've tried to hang out with Sting, and Sting's talked to them like twice. So that's the whole thing on Being the Elite, and it's just to get them screen time. But So to your point, I was pondering the same thing. I'm like, what if this is a way to ride out Darby Allin for a little bit so he can heal up, because he's been getting the shit kicked out of him lately?
Yeah.
What if they do that and then they move Sting to be the leader of the Dark Order?
Okay. All right. That's a great thought. Okay. I want to put a pause in that, and I'm going to return to it later on in this episode. Okay.
Boop. Okay. You got it.
That's that. I was hopeful you'd be on that path there, because I'm not that. But anyway, I'll get to it here in a second. So, good segue.
Okay. So then after that, they cut to another outside promo vignette of the Pinnacle eating at a very fancy restaurant, I guess.
The same place where they shot the Dinner Debonair.
Yes. So it was just Jericho basically calling... MJF calling Jericho sophomoric and like, oh, my jerk off friend, ha ha ha, pineapple, ha ha ha. Like, and I was like,
it was all the hits of the Pinnacle basically at dinner.
Yeah, and then each of them just said one thing about how great they are, and then
except for Sean Spears,
Sean Spears was wanting wine every time, and like the waiter wouldn't give him wine, so he finally got pissed and just beat him up. That was like the highlight of the whole thing for me.
Tully Blanchard throws a wad of cash at the ref and the ref goes, "I'll take care of it."
Yeah, yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, and then of course
the rest of it was bull.
Yeah, it just ends with the typical.
And that for as good as MJF is and can be, and all these other guys, FTR, we know them and they are legit great. Wardlow's doesn't talk, but that's good because he's that big hulking feature. Spears, they're very one notish, and that's almost infuriating. Not infuriating, but almost infuriating, because we expect, like, when this got formed, we're all like, holy shit, that's a fucking fantastic idea. Now it's like, okay, do something else.
Yeah, I think they have to finish it at the Stadium Stampede 2, which
to grow.
To grow.
Okay.
I think that's the stepping stone.
Makes sense.
So this next after that, we have our I'm going to say this very slow so you can just enjoy it.
You're going to spoil it. Okay, I was going to wait till this. Okay.
First, we have our first women's match of the night. Yes.
Thank you, AEW.
That would imply.
Thank you.
That would imply that there are two. So
that's what you do.
So this is a match of Hikaru Shida versus Rebel, or Rebel as I like to call her, because Reba and Rebel mixed together is Rebel. There's Rebel with Britt Baker, DMD, our future AEW Women's Champion.
You just like saying Rebel.
I do. I really do.
I mean, I don't blame you.
It's just fun to say, especially like if I throw in my little accent that I do with one Bruce Pritchard. It just sounds good.
I was gonna say you kind of have a Eastern Tennessee or Central Tennessee going on there. Rebel.
Rebel. Like I don't go full on like Texan, like Rebel. I gotta get in there like Rebel. Like the South will rise again. That kind of, that might. Okay.
Wow, you took a turn. You took a turn
sure
there. Let's
did.
go back. Match.
I'm
There's
sorry.
a match with the car sheet.
Sorry, we're talking about Wirtz. That just got me all fired up. Anyway.
Wow.
There you go. All right, so this match was very, very short. Very, 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 very
short. It served
short.
its purpose.
100% served its purpose. So basically, Rebel was going, against Shida. Shida was kind of beating the crap out of her, and then Shida was gonna do the ultimate stealing the finisher of Britt Baker, which I really loved. And then that's when Britt Baker
She pulled the glove and everything. It was great.
had the glove, everything, and was gonna do the lockjaw on Rebel. Then Britt distracts the referee, and that's when the clutch, the clutch, that's what I was trying to say, comes into play. Rebel hits Shida in the back with the crutch, and then it's getting turned around, and then Shida was able to kick out, and then Shida won with the Brock Lock, which was a modified muffler, the hanging muffler, whatever. I don't know what the hell that thing's called.
Okay, all right. I was like, Brock Lock.
It's called a Brock Lock.
That's a weird name. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a Lesnar submission? Or?
Yeah, because he used to do that back in the day as his submission was the muffler.
back in the young when he feuded with the Rock days.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
Gotcha.
Rebel taps. After that, Baker attacks Shida, and then she grabs the belt and just kind of does a quick pose and throws it on her. It just
She puts the belt on the mat and then does a curb stomp of Shida onto the belt.
Yes, that was probably my favorite part. But
I hope to God after she wins that they give her a bigger. I hope that you could sell it like this, AEW. I know I'm jumping ahead weeks, but we all believe she's going to win at Double or Nothing. Here's how you sell it. She goes up to Tony Khan, the Dynamite after, and just says, I deserve a bigger belt. This is an insult to me, blah, 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 blah. Have her throw the belt or whatever, break it or something. Mm-hmm. New belt, because it's time. That belt is terrible. As much as I bitch about IWGP World Heavyweight title, it's not that bad. This is that bad.
Yeah.
This belt's comically small.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, you said exactly. It's like, it could be worse. It could be the AEW women's belt, because that thing's god-awful.
It could. So anyway, I know that's a complete tangent, but that's what I want to see happen. We'll see if it does.
So after this, we have yet another promo, again, just setting the stage for
lots of setup.
Yeah,
lots of
setting the stage for Double or Nothing. They show footage of Omega talking with Orange Cassidy, with Don Callis, about after everything. It's like, you know what? We need to take care of our people. I'm talking to you as an EVP and not as a competitor. Blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't do this, because he kept showing him the power bomb that he took. And it's like, that could be, really bad for you. And you are a big part of who we are. You're our mascot. He kept calling him a mascot, which I thought was
that was very nice.
But not like, you're important. You're our mascot. Like you aren't like a big player. He's like, if you're in with the big boys, I could kill you. Like, basically, that's what he said. So he gave him this contract thing. He ripped up the first one. He's like, don't worry, we made a second one because we figured you would do that. I'm like, my God, great.
It's a contract to defer his title opportunity
to basically a later date.
To a TBD, yes.
Yes. So really enjoyed that. Then here we go with the Inner Circle comes out. And we get the Inner Circle's answer. Basically, in short, all of them say yes. They want to have this. But my favorite thing out of the whole thing was Sammy Guevara saying they're a bunch of dumbass fishes. Fishes. Mm-hmm. What's the plural of fish?
It'd be fish.
It'd be fish.
It was definitely fish.
Like, and everybody, then you heard a chant of dumbass fishes. I'm like, oh my God. Like, oh no. Like, it's improper grammar, people.
I hear you. Sammy's starting to come into his own, though. I'm really digging the growth from Sammy since he came back from his colossal fuck up with Sasha Banks' comments. Mm-hmm. So, and almost killing Matt Hardy.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
So anyway, this felt like, much like the Pinnacle felt like the same shit. This felt like a Inner Circle promo, but it's a little different because it's that good feel that yes. They all say yes. They do the do the middle fingers in the row, and
Yeah, so the fishes piece for improper English and grammar. But then Jericho says that, that hell's coming with them, and then they're going to piss on their graves. I enjoyed that.
Jericho always delivers. Even when he's not on his game, he's on his game. So
Yeah, like if it's a mediocre promo for Jericho, it's typically a top tier promo for anybody else.
Right. And I believe you that MJF will get there too. Mm-hmm. He's not there yet. He's really not. We've seen that now for a couple of weeks. It's like, okay, you're a little bit more. You're almost there.
Yes.
Not quite there.
Yeah, you got a couple years, and then you are going
You're not
to be
quite,
the
not
upper
quite.
echelon of shit talkers. So after this, we get our second women's match of the night. The last time they did two women's matches on AEW, I happened to look it up. It was during the Women's Eliminator Tournament.
Oh, wow.
Last time it's been...
Come on now.
That was what, February? January, February?
February, March. February. We'll say February. We don't know.
Because March was Revolution.
There you go.
And we got to see Maki Ito. God, I miss Maki
Ito!
Maki Ito! That's what I want. If anybody can get Maki Ito to tweet "Happy Birthday, Simp" to our Total Spotfest or me, I would just be happy. I don't want.
Well, I got a busy day tomorrow, but I know what I'm doing in my downtime. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, and it sucks that our young boy Nicholas isn't here because there was a few crossbodies and things like that in here.
There was quite a few crossbodies. This match, so the first one was a squash. What we say last week? If you could have two matches, we can even do one as a squash. First one was definitely a squash, and then talk about this match because I thoroughly enjoyed this match.
This was probably match of the night to me.
I think it was. Looking at what they had, it definitely was for me.
So first things first, it's great to see Serena Deeb back after 3 months off with her meniscus tear.
Yes.
So she's back. She looked great, and the awesome thing was she came back straight up heel, bro.
Ooh, she from the start, she had an edge to her, which I had never seen from Serena Deeb.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Last time I saw any kind of edge with her when she was a part of the Straight Edge Society back in the day.
Oh, wow. That's way back. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So just to give you an idea. So this match had lots of good stuff. And honestly, Velvet looked good too. Red Velvet actually looked pretty solid. She's still green, but when you have a ring general like Serena Deeb in there, you can't go wrong. There was just so many things like freaking flying knees, standing moonsaults. I was very impressed with Red Velvet's standing moonsault. There was just so much good stuff.
She had a move on the outside that looked sick that took him down to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Then the finish, because I want to get through this, but the finish was sick because if you've ever watched Serena Deeb matches, she's got this move called the Serenity Lock, which is kind of like a modified, like a reverse STF almost. Like you lock the arm and then you pull back on the leg. Well, when she did it at the end, she was slamming Red Velvet's knee on the mat really hard because she kept working the knee the whole damn match. Talk about working something, and Velvet was selling it the whole time. Beautiful. Told a beautiful story. Beautiful story. If you're going to play the technical wrestler, you pick a body part and you stick with it, but then the other person has to sell it the whole damn time.
Yes. It takes two to tango, and they tangoed.
Oh, man.
That's why I think that's why I like this match so much, because on a surface, you got an experienced wrestler versus a younger, more green wrestler, but the way they went about it, and like I said, she's consistent in selling. Like that's how you win points backstage with the people who run stuff. If you sell and you sell well, and she did. It was a fantastic match. It really was, and it was two women's matches on one night of Dynamite. Please, every week.
So the winner and still NWA champion, Miss Serena Deeb, via the Serenity Lock. It was really, really solid. I really enjoyed the hell out of this match. I do not hesitate saying this was match of the night. And the final match
100%.
was pretty damn good too, but nah.
Final match was good. I liked the first match. You didn't care as much, but this match was definitely, I felt, the best wrestling match of the night.
Yes, absolutely. So after that, you have Marvez interviews Pac backstage. Pac asks Marvez, who would dare bet against the bastard now? Whatever.
It's more promos. It's screen time. Fine.
Then we get to the dud of the night.
This
ladies and gentlemen, it was bad. Austin Gunn, who is undefeated this year somehow. Thank you, Dark. At 10-0.
10-0. He had 10 matches this year.
Yeah, all on Dark.
Most of them have been with his brother and his dad.
Yeah,
Just saying. Which I don't mind him and his brother together. I think that they look good. They're young, but they look good at whatever.
yeah. They should be called the Young Guns, but probably can't do that.
Well, yeah. Anyway.
So then you have Austin
He's
Gunn
facing off
with Cody
against-
Rhodes and Arn Anderson versus the Govna. It's actually spelled like Guvna, Govna, which I thought was pretty funny. Anthony Agogo with the Factory.
Can I say one thing about Anthony before you totally go to shreds on them?
Oh, sure.
All right. And I'm a bookend this at the end of this match. There's one thing I want to say too. This is to me is a major ball dropping because the music, the way they do the London's Bells, the Governor, he looks good. Anthony on paper before the bell rings, seems everything is there for this to be a top star. He's a bronze medal Olympic boxer, you know. Got the look, he's got the body, he's got the entrance, you know. It's like the name is good, the music fits the name, he can talk, he is decent on the mic by himself. And then the bell rings and the match starts. That's what kills me. Is like you have all the right foundational pieces for this one. Forget the rest of the factory, you know. But you know, I love Nick Camarado, but the rest of them are whatever. You know, forget them. Him, Anthony Agogo. You have all these great pieces. This guy could potentially be a star, but this happens.
So
you know what I mean?
yeah, so Gunn attacks Agogo, hits a rolling jawbreaker before Agogo stops his momentum with one body shot. The oversell of the body shot from him.
Yeah.
Then he was able to get up. Gunn got another body shot. Then he spit blood out and got all over Agogo's face. And then he did a pop-up KO punch, like a, toasty style uppercut, and referee stoppage. Agogo wins. Who cares?
So here is my book into it. Okay. Everything I said before, as soon as the bell rings, this guy literally has one move. And that's all it's like you're not even trying to make him a wrestler. You think you are by all the stuff that you set up for it. Apparently he has been training, but Bad Bunny is 35,000 times the wrestler this son of a bitch is. I do like the second move he did. And it's like you can do more than one move. Why don't you? Do you have anything else? Because that was actually a decent looking move. If it was part of his repertoire.
Yeah, or could a pop-up power, like a pop-up power punch from a bronze medal boxer.
Yeah,
that's a good finisher.
It's a good finisher, and the way he did, because it wasn't in the stomach, it was like right across, like it looked good on TV. That's a good finisher. If he had a match to go in front of that damn thing, but he doesn't. They're just doing this stupid body blow. Whatever.
I'm really
dumb.
hoping Cody and him actually have a real match. But
I hope to God
but the bar
Cody's-
is really
yeah.
low because, I'm kind of over Cody Rhodes. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from. I could take it or leave it, whatever. It's
He's
I
the
think-
master of the mid card.
he's doing it purposefully. That's not the smartest of ideas. We talked last time about the infighting that's going on there, and he's doing it because he wants to push everybody over. Well, why don't you move to a backstage role, and like maybe once or twice a year you wrestle a match?
Yeah, I mean he's still.
There's
young,
nothing
but
wrong with
still,
it.
Yeah,
Yeah. You got a kid coming in any day now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit. Move into a Triple H type of role before Triple H was running NXT. You know, those last few years when he was part of the whatever they
Authority.
called it, the Authority. Be like that, where you're running things and then occasionally you get a match. That to me makes more sense for Cody the way this character is, because he doesn't hide that he's one of the guys in charge, in front of the camera, on TV, in interviews. He doesn't hide it at all. He doesn't kayfabe that shit at all. So this all like him as a wrestler feels like kayfabe is what's weird.
Yeah, fair.
I'm with you there. But yeah.
So after that, there's a little scuffle, whatever, because Anthony Gogo grabs the American flag.
That I'm over to. This Revolutionary War bullshit. Stop this. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop.
It's like 1993 WCW called. They want their match.
I know, right?
So after this, though, we did have some good shit. So Marvez interviews SCU. Marvez asked Daniels about the cryptic tweet he made last week, and but Daniels shoves him away, hugs Kazarian, and walks off.
Whispers in his ear as he hugs him.
Yeah, he says something. Kazarian says he doesn't have words to explain what
before you talk. Before you talk about Kaz, I want to circle back to the Dark Order conversation real fast here.
Oh.
So, yes, this is why I wanted to hold off. So, I agree with that Sting bit. It's not necessarily where my mind first goes, but I agree where you're coming from. I think Dark Order needs somebody. I don't know. I made the play. I'm still in on Hangman being, the Dark Cowboy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the more I think about it, the more I don't know if that's really the prediction I should have made, because they really need somebody to fill the shoes of Brody Lee. Needs somebody that's of a similar clout and stature, an experienced person, somebody like Sting. Somebody like the man who was rumored to have been, when they were doing the feud, everybody thought it was going to be Christopher Daniels as the Exalted One. What if that's his play now that he's basically done wrestling? He's moving into taking them up on that. After all, I read somebody give this theory a week ago after the match, after the match with the Young Bucks, and I'm like, you know what? I can get behind that too. I think that's good for him. I think it's great for the Dark Order. And look at the continuity there. The guy who they teased as being the Exalted One ends up replacing the Exalted One as the new Exalted One. Just a thought.
That's a great idea.
It's a good idea, right? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, Hangman, I don't know. Hangman doesn't need a faction behind him. He's almost better without it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So
I think as long as he stays cool and friendly with them for a while.
Yeah, he could be affiliated, like he was affiliated with the Elite. He's like loosely affiliated with them. He hangs out with them.
Yeah,
that's fine. But I don't know. The more I think about it as days go by, I'm buying into this Daniels thing. And just with that, the cryptic tweet, and then tonight he didn't say a word to Marvez and immediately went over and said something that wasn't just like hey, I'm out. It was a sentence. It was several sentences long to Kazarian. So, all right, I just wanted to circle back to that. Go ahead, keep talking about Kazarian, what he said after.
So Kazarian said that he's not done with the Elite. He knows his path, and he's going to hunt down every member of the Elite. That includes Anderson and Gallows and Callis, everybody, and have them feel what it feels like to have their heart ripped out of their chest.
And he ends it with saying, and that's not a promise, that's not a threat, that's the gospel according to Frankie Kazarian.
I loved it too.
And there's a t-shirt coming soon. Yes. Which, hey, we have talked loads about Kaz, how much Kazarian, I still call him Kaz, but we've talked loads about Frankie, how much we like him. And hey, that's as a deranged pastoral sort of I'm cool with that. Do it.
So after that, we have another promo, but it's a pretty decent one. It is Miro who comes out. I love how it starts.
It starts so good. It's fantastic.
Yeah, he thanks Jesus, for the belt, and then he also thanks Jesus for giving him power to destroy everyone.
Oh, that was great.
I'm
That
like,
was so.
Jesus Christ. And then he talked like mad shit on Darby, how he talked mad on him, like your stupid gritty videos and stuff like that. And and then everybody, I like this too. People were chanting Darby Allin, Darby Allin. So he takes the belt off and goes, "Here's your Darby Allin." I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, yes.
Even if it was just a bunch of extras, like he was getting like good heat from them and playing. This is the Miro we've longed and waited for. So
Yes.
I'm good with it.
And then he says he's facing somebody next week, whatever. And then Archer music hits, and then Archer starts talking at him, and then he's like, we're gonna go at it like Godzilla and Kong, like we're gonna give the fans what they want because two tough son of bitches like us, blah blah blah.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. Then Miro goes, why are you letting the old man hold you back? I don't let anybody hold me back. That's why you don't have this belt. Blah blah blah. I'm like, oh my God, this is great.
He told Jake that no amount of yoga could save him if he gets in his way.
Yeah.
It's just
Miro says, Miro says that Archer always says everybody dies, and he agrees. He insists that Archer will die first.
Like, this is the Miro we've wanted since he showed up. Thankfully, we get it. It's so good, and this match could steal the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a shitload. It's a loaded card, and we could talk about it at the end here. But this match could very well steal the show.
Yeah, because right after the match, actually, Excalibur announced that Sting and Darby Allin will face Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky at Double or Nothing. In a real match, not a cinematic match. This will be Sting's first match in front of fans in 6 years.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That should sell the rest of those tickets. Okay. That's why they're doing it.
So then we have the Bucks of Youth.
It's been a while since
Yes. Going against real young Bucks. Like, they're legit young Bucks. And the Varsity Blondes with Julia Hart, the two-time cheerleading champion.
Which I like. I said it before. I say it again. They're still green. They're incredibly green. But I dig this whole shtick. I dig this thing for the Varsity Blondes with Julia. They even have the intro down, which shows the splits, and it's good. I like it.
Yeah. I'm coming around on it. I really am. I wanted to hate it in the beginning because I'm like, oh, here we go. Two young guys are just going to throw them together and create a tag team. But no, it actually works out very good.
It does.
Yeah, so this match was really damn good. It had everything you'd expect in a young Buck match. It had everything you expect. Was not near as good as last time.
It was definitely not as good as last week or a couple weeks ago, but it started off interesting. So before you get to the match, I like how Nick had this stupid feathery head thing on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to the crowd, and then Nakazawa's over on the face side of the crowd, right? And he looks like Bret Hart about who he's going to give it to, and he puts it on Knock just like Bret Hart did. And it's just I like that throwback because they're always mimicking old stars, right? They do the Macho Man and everybody else. And then, of course, as Don Callis arrives at the commentary desk, Tony Schiavone introduces him by saying, "Hey, we're joined by the walking urinal, Don Callis."
It's so good.
It's so good.
So there's all sorts of good stuff. Spots everywhere. I'm just not going to get into all the spots. It is lots of good spots. Lots and lots of good spots.
It was.
At the end, it gets the good old-fashioned young boy interference. So then they could use their cold spray. But Matt sprays Julia in the face. Right. And then
they spray him once, and then it doesn't work. And then they go to spray him again. And
Julia stopped him for the first
she
time.
stopped. She called the ref. She got up to the apron and hollered at the ref to come over. He goes over. He removes the bottle, and then he immediately gets another bottle thrown at him. And he goes over to Julia and sprays her in the face with the cold spray.
Yeah, it was great.
Such a heel move.
Yeah, it was great. It ended with some sharpshooters, which I like that. I appreciate the hell out of the sharpshooter. But the end was great because Matt had Pillman and the sharpshooter, and then Nick does a springboard facebuster onto Pillman while he's still in there, and then he hits a moonsault on Garrison on the floor right after he did that.
Yep.
Pillman taps. Your winner and still champs, Young Bucks.
I mean, the Blondes showed up. They did. It looked good. Garrison, I think it hit me a little bit about the greenness of them. Garrison feels like he's trying to be smaller than his frame is.
I agree. He needs to bulk up.
Well, and the way he runs, he's taking like extra baby steps for things. It's like he needs to practice more. He needs to work with like Archer or somebody of the same size, because it feels like he's trying to be a 5'10", flippy spinny guy, and it's like you're like 6'6", dude. It's just
own your height,
Right. So anyway, but overall, they showed up. It was pretty good. But what happened after the match was, I think, one of my favorite things I've seen on Dynamite.
Yes. So after the match, Moxley and Kingston show up behind both the Young Bucks and just beat the hell out of them. And then this is the best part.
Choke them out. They both choke them. They're knocked out. Rear naked chokes.
They do rear naked chokes, knock them out, and they stole their Dior Nikes.
Dior Air Jordan 1s. If you are not a sneakerhead, those are, if at a decent level pay, they're about $10,000 a pair. Yes, I said $10,000. That's correct. So
for
those
a pair of sneakers.
And they are authentic Dior's. I know that because I follow them on Instagram, and yes, they've been clamoring for those for a while. So they're walking out, and Kingston has an arm full of $20,000 worth of sneakers.
And he even took their socks, which I thought was fucking great. Kingston stole, and I love that because it is a call out from 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when they drove the car into the trailer.
Yep.
And that's when Moxley goes, "Man, you gotta quit stealing shoes, man," and like that. And then he straight steals their shoes.
Steals their
shoes.
Oh
my God.
It was fantastic. And while they're doing it was like Excalibur was talking about, looks like he's just going back to his Staten Island roots. And I was just like, that's even better. I like it even more now.
Yeah.
It's great.
It was so good. So I'm really enjoying this Kingston Moxley combo. A lot more than I expected. Way more than I expected.
I agree with that too. Absolutely.
Crazy. Like, as much as I was like, this is gonna be stupid, I'm like, nope, it's great.
It's pretty damn good. It really is. So what would you give the episode?
Squash.
I'm gonna give it firmly in the middle of a squash fest.
Yeah.
Not much
higher.
It's not much higher. I mean, if it wasn't for the Serena Deeb thing and them stealing the shoes at the end,
my best news. I agree.
It would definitely, exactly. Because, like I said, there was some bad matches in this. Hello, Anthony Ogogo, and then the matches were okay. They were good. But overall, they're setting everything up. So you got tons of setup work. So that's what it is.
Yeah. So here's the card so far for Double or Nothing. Yeah. So we'll start at the bottom and go up. So Sting and Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page.
Okay.
You have Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo. You have
American Dream, Cody Rhodes.
Sorry, yes, American Dweem. American Dweem.
That's the thing.
Cody Rhodes.
Son of a preacher man.
Yeah. That's right, Jack.
That's the wrong thing. Son of a please.
Son of a plumber man.
I said son of a preacher man. I'm
son of a plumber.
Whatever. Okay.
That's right, Jack. All right, Stadium Stampede 2, the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle. If the Inner Circle loses, they must disband as a team forever. Then we have Brian Cage versus Adam Page, which I am all about. Now, this one, I have some thoughts about this, and I think we might need to talk about this. The Casino Battle Royale, Christian Cage, Matt Sydal, Pentagon, Junior Powerhouse Hobbs, Evil Uno, Colt Cabana, Preston 10 Vance, Jungle Boy, Matt Hardy, Mark Quinn, Isaiah Kennedy, and to be announced.
And if you watched it on TV, I have the same note down here. If you watched it on TV, the graphics they put up, they had all the cards for each of the men with a singular card in the middle and a question mark on it.
And it was an ace. Everybody else was kings.
I'm saying Andrade. I'm just going to say it.
I think it's Andrade too.
I'm pretty sure it's Andrade.
That'd make my heart happy. So looks like we're
in agreement. Yeah,
in agreement.
Not that much of a talk. I mean, who else is there? Everyone else who you would think it would be is on a 90-day no compete, or I mean, it's not going to. Yeah, it's got to be Andrade. That's
or could be somebody from Impact, or it could be somebody from
it could be
New
like
Japan.
It could be like Kota Ibushi or the Rainmaker. I mean,
Oh my God! If I hear a coin drop, and I'm not even gonna be able to watch it live. God,
oh,
bless
that's right.
America.
You're gonna be at our Universal, and I'll be watching it live and commenting thereafter.
You can text me spoilers. Please text me spoilers. I'm gonna.
You want me to text you spoilers?
It's
wow.
fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right.
Because then I'll just enjoy the match when I watch it, but knowing the outcome, and then I won't tell Megan. And so I'll be like, "Hey,
Ooh, there you go.
You want to bet? You want
I
to
know
bet some
what
of the money I gave you? Like, here, let's make some bets."
You don't think your daughter's gonna be on Twitter?
Fair.
She'll know what happens. Anyway,
she wants to retain her title on that big time. Just so you know, that is a must.
We will be. For those of you who are not familiar with our pay-per-view strategies, for the big pay-per-views, which are the four big AEW, four big WWE ones, the big I think it was four or six takeovers, and then the four that we have for AEW. We do pay-per-view specials. We have toy belts, which we do float amongst each other. And Megan, Jamie's one of Jamie's daughters, held all three of them before we started doing the podcast. He has taken over the NXT title. Nick took over the WWE title at WrestleMania. So Megan's holding on to that one last belt. And girl, I am taking it from you. You're not going to be there to even defend it.
Yeah, we'll see. She's gonna do
right.
everything she can to hold on to that thing.
All right, you guys will have picks. We'll talk about it on our special, but please go.
Yes.
For it.
All right. So AEW women's title match of Rebel-Shida versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I'm going to do that every time because I love it. And then we have the AEW Tag Team Championship match of the Young Bucks versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Then we have the TNT title, Miro versus Lance Archer, which should be a banger.
Goddamn good.
And then the AEW three-way title match as of right now. I feel like they're setting up for a change, though, because they don't know if Orange Cassidy's going to be able to go. Of Kenny Omega, Orange Cassidy, and Pac. That is the card right now. That is
if they do make a change, I don't mind it, because you and I were in attendance when Omega and Pac had their 60-minute Iron Man match. The go home for was it Double or Nothing? Revolution. Go home for Revolution last year, pre.
It was one of the final live shows.
It was one of the final, because then they had Revolution. They did like one or two more shows, and then boom, lockdown happened.
Yeah.
But 60-minute Iron Man match. It actually went 67 minutes because there was 0-0 at the end of 60 minutes. I still say best match I've ever seen live. So I'd be perfectly fine if it's Pac and Omega. Part of me actually thinks that'd be better. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. We'll see. Or they add a third person because Cassidy can't go. And
maybe that's where the coin drops.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah, I would die. I would probably die at Orlando, a happy man. So they have 9 matches on the card right now.
Hey, that sounds very like a very similar pay-per-view I just witnessed not too long ago. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, with banger,
yeah,
banger. I don't know. It's probably gonna be a banger. Definitely a banger. Not gonna be a banger.
Yeah,
probably
there's only one women's match, but when you got this many bangers, I'll allow it. But
yeah, I figure two super dud contenders and Cody Rhodes and Anthony Ogogo, and the Sting Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, because Sting can't go.
I mean, the Sting match is fan service. Let's be honest. It's to sell tickets. It's fan service fine, whatever. I don't have any faith in Anthony Ogogo, and I'm with you on Cody. Like Cody has talent. He still has it, but the way he's presenting himself, I mean, does he need to be in a feud with Anthony Ogogo? No. He had a feud with Pentagon that I was like, oh God, yes, that
lasted 2 weeks.
That should be this, but whatever. I digress.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, we're gonna talk. We'll talk more about it. We do have one more show. Unfortunately, Jamie will not be here for that show because that is happening a week from Friday. No Dynamite next Wednesday. So,
yeah.
Sorry, Jamie.
I know.
I thought you were going to be able to do the go home show with us, but
they moved it to Friday. Those assholes.
And the reason, it's very logical why they did. That people want to get the weekend rev. They're gonna have people there the whole weekend. Fine, I get it. Cool, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I'm just gonna change this up for us a little bit. So that means next week we're only going to have the one podcast. We will be back on Tuesday with our wrestling roundabout. We're going to talk about Impact Wrestling, NXT. Things happened last night or 2 nights ago on NXT. And spoiler alert, ratings were up on NXT. I don't know if you checked or not, but they were up. I didn't see the figure, but I just read they were up.
It's not far.
For them.
It's not far to go up.
They were going down.
Oof.
So, but we'll talk about NXT. We're going to talk about Impact, fallout from Under Siege. There'll be crap from WWE we'll talk about in 5 minutes. So there's that. And we'll see what else is going on. I assume there's going to be a couple more releases coming up here.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually how it goes. So who knows what's going to happen. But that's what we got for you. So we'll be back next week with our Wrestling Roundabout. Just as a scheduling note, that means that no AEW next week. So only one podcast next week. Dynamite's on Friday. The pay-per-view is on Sunday. So Monday morning we'll be releasing AEW. It'll be the go-home and the pay-per-view. We'll just glance through the go-home, talk about Double or Nothing. And then we'll be back with the regular schedule the rest of that week. So next week, only the one. And then the week after, when Jamie's not here, we'll have the 3. We'll have an AEW special on Monday, which is the 1st or 31st.
Yeah.
I always how many days in the month?
It's
31st.
31st.
The 31st. A 50-50 shot, unless it's February, right? So we'll be back on the 31st with that, and then the regular schedule thereafter. So let us know what match are you guys excited for? Do you agree with us? Is Miro versus Archer going to be a total banger, like total 5-star maybe? What about if it is Pac versus Omega? Are you down with that? Give us your thoughts. Give us a comment down below or tweet us at Total Spotfest. Once again, wish Jamie happy birthday. Give him happy birthday vibes at JFaulkner56. If you want to give me a hello because you think I'm purdy, just do at JMoney1536. I know that's not going to happen.
Hey, Ruby.
Hey, Ruby. If somebody could get me Ruby Riot to shout at me, I will give you whatever. I will do things. I will stop talking because it's going to go downhill.
Yeah, you could stop right there. Yep.
We want to thank you guys for staying with us. We do appreciate it. So wish Jamie a happy birthday. We'll see you next Tuesday. And Jamie, I want you to go ahead and take us home, birthday boy.
All right. Well, if you're not down with TSL, I got 4 words for you. Happy birthday to me.
Yay. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Peace.